Hello and welcome to the Scale Modelling Cafe, and I thought I'd do a quick video on what I've been up to in 2023, a bit of a summary if you like, and just talk through some of the models that I've completed. I thought I'd take advantage of the cabinet which is right over there, get a few out and they're down here, and in no particular order really, because I can't really remember the order that I built them in, frankly, but yeah, I thought we'd just have a quick recap, if you like. Now, two of the models are not here. One is the Zukimura F4C Phantom. That I built for a friend of mine. That's at his place. And I also built him the Tamiya F14, the one that I've recently just finished and is not even on the channel yet. That is all packed away, ready for him to collect. So I'm not going to get that all out and then have to pack it all up again. Yeah, I'm sure I can put some pictures up or you'll see it in due course. Anyway, right, the first one was actually finished off this year. Started it in 22, and it's this absolute lump. I've got to be very careful how I hold it because there's so many sticky out bits. This is the Hobby Boss AN2 with just one or two minor modifications. A really, really involved project, and I love this model. It's actually pretty much my least watched series of videos, maybe because it's too long. Maybe I can condense it down into one at some point, but I absolutely love this model, and I do love these post-apocalyptic models that I do because you can just let your imagination run wild. I could really go through it all now, but I'm not going to because we'll be here all night. There's so much going on, but fully scratch built interior with some Mohawk ejection seats, resin printed stuff, including a toilet. The engines is probably the thing that strikes you straight away. So that's a Pratt & Whitney 2800 in the front, and then twin Sabre engines from the Tempest. So they're brassing ones. It's got a Lancaster turret on it. It's got some various machine guns on it, a satellite dish. It's got some gun pods underneath, which are built from Mustang drop tanks. Yeah, just an awful lot of fun. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Is fun. So yeah, I have to say that's one of my favourite models in my collection. Oh, a bit of a wonky gun barrel there, but never mind. Right, there we go, that's fixed. Okay, so that's that one. Right, the next one is tiny. It's this one. This is the Clear Prop I16, and it's a beautiful, beautiful little kit. And you see, it is tiny. They've just actually released this in 48 scale, and I'm severely tempted by that, but I've got so much on, I'm probably just going to wait. The model itself pretty much fell together. It's a beautifully fitting kit. I did have a self-induced problem putting the cockpit in because I just didn't line up some of the strengthening former things. That was in the wrong place, and you can't even see them anyway. There's a little bit of a faff with the engine and the nose cap going on, but managed to get that sorted out very quickly. Modelling skill, remember that. But yeah, kit decals, I love it in the dark green as opposed to the AMT, whatever it is, the lighter sort of olivey green with the blue tail. And yeah, just quite a simple kit, but nicely detailed. And yeah, I love this one. I love how it turned out. So yeah, kudos to ClearProp, one of my favourite manufacturers actually. And ClearProp are going to be propping up quite a lot in this video, actually. Right, something a little bit more mainstream is an Edward 109, and this is the ME109 G14 AS that I actually bought from the G6 AS kit. Essentially the same aeroplane. Very simple concept with this. Aftermarket wise, I can't really remember what I added, to be honest. Probably the pitot and the gun barrels, maybe the exhausts, I can't remember. But straightforward build. I really like the late war 109s. I like the pugnacious nose, that big chunky nose. I like the myriad of different color schemes. This is obviously the green and brown scheme, but it's got the sort of sky type RLM, whatever it is, 84. Propeller's just fallen off, it's not glued on. With natural metal and RLM 76 underneath, as you can see, heavily weathered, which is what I like. And a very straightforward kit and a straightforward build. The markings mainly are sprayed. I think Nige did these. If he didn't do them, then they would have been cobbled together from the spares box, various Montex sheets and things like that. But I really like it, and there's going to be more 109s in this video, and more 109s coming to the channel in due course. Right, back to clear prop. And again, one of my favourite models in my collection now is this funny looking Hawk. Derivative of the P36. It's the H75N. And an export version made cheaper with fixed undercarriage. And I really hope clear prop, all they've got to do is tweak, tweak the molds, maybe a new lower wing for the retractable, the wheels that go up and down, and they'd have a wonderful model on their hands of a very popular variant. This, however, is a really, really lovely kit. The thing that struck me about this straight away was the surface detail. The riveting is incredibly fine. It's beautifully rendered. So much so, it even sort of fades out in just one or two little areas. So I did go in and restore those because they are so fine, and even the prop spins. Construction was relatively straightforward, but I did, and it was my fault, I glued the engine in, and it actually ended up setting on a slight angle, which then interfered with the cowling. So I had a bit of a filling and a scribing job, which was a bit of a pain in the hoop. But modelling skill required. But that was me, not the kit. Other than that, it just fell together. It's really nice. I love the camo on it, that sort of three-tone upper camouflage. Most of the markings are painted, with the exception of the blar on the fuselage side, the little sort of cartoon thing, and then the lettering, the Thai lettering at the back there. But the main markings were painted on, fairly straightforward. See, with some stripes. But yeah, really loved how this turned out. And the cockpit, I did a little bit of extra work in there, a little bit of extra wiring and bits and pieces. And not that you'll see it on this camera, but it turned out really nicely. So I was really pleased with how the whole project sort of came out. There's the underside. You can see that exhaust and how grubby it is in the middle. And yeah, lovely kit, actually, from a great manufacturer, Clearprop, kind of a little bit under the radar. Sticking with Clearprop, these two little things here. The Q51 Sonia in 144 scale. Now, the cockpit is, on these kits, fully detailed. But it's a bit of a waste of time because you're not going to see any of it, really. Where's my glasses? If I just put my glasses on, so I can have a look in here, I can just about make out the rear gunner seat. And that's it, really. I mean, I can't really make up anything in the pilot's cockpit. I really wish that they'd done VAT form canopies for that, and then maybe you could open up the pilot canopy. But yeah, lovely little things. This one here, I had a bit of a nightmare on the canopy, and it ended up mired in stress fractures. All my fault. So I ended up painting it black, which you can sort of get away with in this scale. You can probably see it there. But a lovely little pair. Now I've got this in 72nd scale, and I really want to build it. It's just there's so many things I want to build now. It's getting ridiculous, and the kind of day job is getting in the way, and it's a pain in the arse. So I'm gonna have to up my game a bit, really. But yeah, these two little things, lovely. Talking of two little things, Edward 109F in 72nd scale times 2. So this one actually has just been published in Air Modeler, which is a real thrill. Fantastic magazine. Very privileged to have my models published in there. But yeah, these are beautiful kits. So the first in the new series of 72nd ME 109s, the mid to late war ones, starting with these, the F. The G2 I have just over there. That was waiting for me when I got back. And the G5, G6 is pretty much out now. I'm not sure whether I'm going to be able to get hold of that before I go back. And I will do a comparison of that one with the Tamir kit, which I've got up there. But these two, yeah, beautiful things, just beautifully detailed. The riveting is incredibly fine. The interior detail, again, is beautiful. Very innovative, the way that the undercarriage mounts. There's a big sort of, at the right angle, a big long rectangular lug that slots in, which is actually the forward underneath of the cockpit, and it sets the angle perfectly. Brilliant. They kind of knit that idea from the S199, which I did last year. Essentially straight from the box, these ones, just a few little tweaks. I think on one of them I used the Brassin propeller. A little bit more detailed, actually pretty subtle. You're not really going to see that, but the advantage of the Brassin one is the prop blades are separate, so you can paint the spinner and then stick the separate blades in. One of them I used the resin exhaust, the Brassin exhaust, because they're hollow, but to be honest, in this scale, you get away with solid exhausts. They're very small. They've got the shroud over the top anyway, and you ain't going to see them. One of them I used the wheel wells. As I look at them here, I know I haven't got my glasses on, but I'm struggling to tell which ones were the Brassin ones. They are more detailed, but I don't know. So essentially, straight from the kit, lovely. This one has got a metal pitot. In fact, they both got metal pitos. One of them has got the metal gun barrels with it. The other one I'll probably just replace it with wire. So, you know, straight from the box, replace the pitot with a bit of wire, and that's it. Frankly, they are gorgeous, gorgeous little kits, and I'm really looking forward to the G2, G4, which I've got. I've actually got the Overtrees, and I may well do all three in a one. Right, two more to go. First one is this. This is the Airfix Beaver. The classic kit. So 1971 moulding. The kit itself is actually pretty good as it comes, but I wanted to see if I could bring it up to modern standards. So all the surface detail was sanded off, and it was fully rescribed, fully riveted. Probably one of my worst riveting jobs that I've done. Managed to glue the wrong underwing panels, so the rivets don't line up. In quite a few places, the rivets are a little bit wonky. I didn't follow my own advice, so it's my fault. The glasswork was the inside was sanded, then it was glued in, and then the whole thing was sanded flush, because the glasswork is really quite thick, but I managed to thin it right down, and I'm really pleased with how that turned out. So yay me. But all these aerials and things, they're all scratch built on the top. And yeah, really pleased with how it turned out. Not least because the decals were crap. These are extra decals, and it's not that old a set, but they just didn't want to stick at all. It was like there was zero adhesive on the sheet. So I don't know if there was a problem with that particular production run, but yeah, they were dreadful. So yeah, can't really recommend those unless I was just unlucky. But yeah, this is I want to do a series of 72nd scale Vietnam models. I've got the Trumpeter F105 up there that I'm busy collecting all the res kit bits, and every time I think they finish, they bring out something else. So I know there's lots more to come now as well. So I'm just going to hold off on that, wait until res kit have done all their bits, and then I've got that. I've got Hobby 2000 brackets Fujimi A4 Skyhawk. I've got Hasegawa F4. So I want to slowly build up a nice 72nd collection of Vietnam stuff, and this is the first in the series. But yeah, like that little thing, that's cool. Right, and the last one I'm going to talk about is my kit of the year, which I know is a bit of a cliche. It's this one, which is the Armour Hobby Hurcan 2C in 48 scale. I'm almost going to say game changer, the quality of this kit. It's absolutely phenomenal. In fact, I've just finished writing a magazine article on this kit, and I wax lyrical in that. It's not perfect by any stretch. So the kit exhausts are solid, and they're slightly the wrong shape. The gun barrels are a little bit rubbish, if I'm being honest, as moulded, quite softly moulded and solid. So both of these were replaced. The gun barrels were master barrels, and the exhausts were from ASK. The cockpit is just amazing, frankly, and I was going to add some of the wiring, but I didn't bother because you can't really see it. I am going to do another one of these. I'm going to convert it in a Sea Hurricane. This was nearly a Sea Hurricane, but I just didn't have the decals for the serials and the Royal Navy blah down the back. My cutter, more of that in a moment, would really struggle with 4mm stuff. The seat harness was replaced. I think you get it on the decal. I can't remember. I think you do. But that was replaced by HGW. But the thing that really strikes you about this is the surface detail. The raised rivets on the wing, on the sort of back 2/3 of the wing, which are actually quite subtle, but not subtle enough to change my approach to the weathering. So I normally do a sludge wash, which is a thicker wash, paint it over the entire surface, and then polish it off with a dry cloth. I just felt that round the raised rivets, that would make them too prominent. So I changed tack a little bit. I did a pin wash in the panel lines, and then I did a couple of filter coats. The first was a grimy tone using Starship Filth, and then the second one was a dusty tone using a flesh colour, and then just went in with my normal oils and stuff. The chipping, I did the standard silver chipping, and then I distressed the paint. So I've got some of the new Atom paints from Ammo. These are the prototype ones. Thinned it down and did sort of chipping with that lighter base colour. And actually what that does is it makes the surface appear sort of more busy, if you like. But the eye doesn't actually see it, if that makes sense. So yeah, quite a subtle technique, but one that I'm going to use again because I think it worked really well on this model. So I kind of wax lyrical about the surface detail. The rivets are just amazing, but the engineering is phenomenal I put out a little short video of the dry fit of the fuselage closing over the top of the wing, and the join just disappeared because it joins along a parallel line. It's not your traditional sort of straight join, sort of inboard of the wing root here. It's actually the wing fairing, and it's on the top of that. And yeah, it just disappeared. It's just utterly astonishing. The fit of the clear parts on the leading edge, the landing lights and the wingtips. The landing lights, these are not even glued on. They're just kind of popped in at the end. Obviously, I did glue the wingtip lights. But yeah, they don't need to be sanded and faired in. They just kind of, you just stick them on. And the fit is absolutely perfect. The detail in the undercarriage bay is just beautiful. You can see the weathering job I've done there. It is, as they say, heavily weathered. But no pigments, actually. No pigments on this one. And this was also my first go at painting on the markings using my own homemade masks. I bought a Silhouette Portrait 3 and downloaded all the relevant software, and had an absolute blast painting on my markings with my new bit of kit, which means it's kind of, one, I don't have to rely on friend of the channel Nige to do my masks for me, and that's a bit limiting because I can only pick them up when I come home, which is only 3 or 4 times a year. Yeah, secondly, I could just print off whatever I need there and then. So many more projects are going to be using my own masks. In fact, I did use my own masks on the Tomcat as well, which was cool. But yeah, there we go. Kit of the year then. Armour Hobbies Hurcan 2C. Right, which leads me on to what's coming up in 2024. So it's going to start off a bit kind of Spitfire-y 109-y. So apologies to the people that think Spitfires, Mustangs, 109, Zeros, 190s, P47s are all a bit dull. But the sort of first part of the year, I'm going to be doing a couple of Edward Spitfires, and I'm going to do them in Malta schemes. That is going to be a buddy build with fellow YouTuber and friend Rick Lawler from the Propaganda channel. I've been a massive fan of Rick's for a long time. He's primarily like an armour/diorama modeler. But I remember some years ago he did a derelict MI24 Hind, which was incredibly inspirational. And I've managed to talk him into doing a bit of a buddy build for a Malta Spitfire, and I'm hoping that he's going to set his in a diorama. I'm not really a diorama dude. I would like to have a go at sort of a base and things like that, but me working abroad, it's a little bit tricky to get all the stuff out. I'm going to see what I can do. Maybe I can have a go, but we'll see. If I do, it'd be very rudimentary. It would just be the base. No sort of figures or anything like that. It would just be a base to set it off, but I might have a go. But anyway, yeah, really looking forward to that. That might be the first build back. It kind of depends on Rick's schedule. My bench is clear, but I am moving house in Saudi. We're moving out of our compound and moving up to the new place, Al Majma'a, which is 2.5 hours up the road. So obviously that's going to be quite disruptive, and that's going to wipe me out for a couple of weeks probably. But we shall see how I get on with that. So that's probably going to be the first project. In the other first part of the year, I'm going to be doing the Tamiya Spitfire, but using the Laminar Flow Designs 3D printed conversion set to a high-back Mark 14, and that's going to be painted in Belgian colours. Most of the Belgian aeroplanes were clip wing, which doesn't really appeal. It's such a beautiful wing. Why would you model one with clip wings? although sat in the cabinet is one of my favourite kits, which is a Clipwing Mark 9. But luckily, Matthew, I asked Matthew, who is Belgian, if he knew of any full span Belgian Mark 14s, because they really did get minging. And he did. He's come up trumps and found me a couple of photos. So I'm going to be doing one of those, which is cool. Looking forward to getting that done. That's going to be quite a big involved project, actually. And the other part of the first part of the year is the 109s from Edward, the G2, G4. So I've got 3 kits to take up with me. One of them is going to be in the sort of desert Sicily colours with the standard desert camouflage, but then the green bits over the top, which I really like. And I could do a nice weathering job on it. The other one is going to be a conversion to a HA112M1, I think, which is the using the AZ Models Boutron kit. I'm going to chop the nose off, and I'm just going to see if it's going to fit onto the Edward 109. I'm hoping that it's going to work. But if I chop it up and it doesn't work, it doesn't matter, because I'm bringing up a third one, and I don't know what I'm going to do in that. It's not going to be a winter whitewash, because I've got one there. It's probably going to be, I may do a finish one. And that's it. So there we go. I can just see the missus coming in. So I'll stop it there. And I hope you enjoyed that. And I'll see you in 2024. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Yeah, make all the demons quiet. Yeah, we were built to thrive. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night? Yeah, make all the demons quiet. Yeah, we were built to thrive. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. It's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night? Yeah, make all the demons quiet. Yeah, we were built to thrive. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night? Yeah, make all the demons quiet. Yeah, we were built to thrive. Yeah.